The Indian National Movement, Part 1. The First Battle of Independence, 1857. The epic struggle for freedom gained roots under the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857. Though it started as a revolt of the soldiers of the Indian Army run by the British, it soon spread across the country, with many provinces under the leadership of the kings and queens joining the revolt. Let us now see why the revolt took place. Broadly, we can divide the causes of the revolt under the following heads: political factors, economic factors, social factors, religious factors, military factors, immediate factors. Let us first look at the political factors. The British East India Company had made a concerted effort in 3 different ways to occupy the various kingdoms of India. They used the subsidiary alliance, direct conquest, and the doctrine of lapse to achieve this aim. The humiliation and the treatment meted out to the last Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar further angered the people. Bahadur Shah was stripped of his title of emperor, and this act was taken badly by both Muslims and Hindus. Let us now look at the economic factors. The economic policies of the British East India Company had left the peasants poor and devoid of land. In addition, the craftsmen and artisans were also left impoverished due to the imposition of machine-made goods from England. All this led to the collapse of indigenous industries and impoverished artisans, leading to unrest. Let's take a quick look at the social factors behind the revolt of 1857. Earlier invaders and rulers never touched the social hierarchy of the country, so the Indians never felt discriminated. The British, on the other hand, asserted their racial supremacy and practiced discrimination. Indians were not allowed to hold high posts in the government. The introduction of Western education, abolition of sati, widow remarriage, each of these hurt the social sentiments of the conservative Indians. Let us quickly also look at the religious factors behind the revolt. The introduction of doctrine of lapse, conversion to Christianity by missionaries, and the loss of livelihood of the priests and Maulvis of the Hindus and Muslims raised doubts in the minds of the Indians, creating unrest. Military causes. The Indian sepoys in the service of the company were also discontent. They were paid less than their British counterparts, and stringent rules were imposed. Their religious sentiments were also hurt with the new rules where they had to serve abroad, and in those days the belief among the Hindus was that crossing the sea meant losing their caste. Finally, let us look at the immediate causes that led to the revolt. The introduction of the Enfield rifle, which had a cartridge that needed to be bitten off, was the immediate cause of the revolt. The cartridge was supposedly made of cow and pig fat, and biting this hurt the religious sentiments of Hindus and Muslims alike. Rumors spread like wildfire, and sepoys refused to use the cartridge, sparking off the revolt. Let's take a quick look at the course of the revolt. Mangal Pandey is credited with being the first sepoy to revolt at Barakpur, and this was followed by the sepoys in Meerut. The revolters declared the last Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar as their head and marched towards Delhi, killing British officers and looting arms and ammunition on their way. He shot out a letter to all other rulers asking them to come together and organize a confederacy of states to fight the British. This single decision had far-reaching implications in the history of India. The British were routed in Delhi, and for almost a week nothing else took place. The British hoped that the rebellion would die down. This week was the time taken for news to spread, and soon rebellions took place in Kanpur and Lucknow. They soon moved to join forces in Delhi.